everyone, back to Raising Vibrations, and today we're going to be working with the asteroids, the main asteroids, and so we've covered Ceres in the first part, and we're going to deal with Vesta now. We're going to work with Vesta and see what she has to offer us in our process of discovering parts of our consciousness that is over and above the sort of main planetary archetypes. Okay, so let's jump into that straight away. Okay, so Vesta. So this is what Vesta's asteroid looks like in the birth chart itself. And as I've mentioned before in the description and also the video here, the link up here will tell you where to connect to how to actually create a natal chart, so just click that there if you don't know how to create your natal chart before, and then come back to this video, okay? Right, so Vesta, that's what the symbol looks like. It's the asteroid number 4 in Astrogene test. If you're, like I said, casting your chart there, I don't know what else it would be in other programs, but that symbol would be recognizable. Okay, so Vesta, what are we dealing with here? The eternal flame. Now, the Vesta virgins themselves have been represented within our consciousness through different types of ages, and of course, through the kind of like matriarchal times. The Vesta virgins and the Vesta archetype was the way that we, on a spiritual level, transmute sexuality, okay? It's the transmuting of sexuality within ourselves. It's that aspect of ourselves where we have devotion and service and learn how to transmute energy from distortion into purification, hence the fire. And the Vesta virgins used to play out a role where the community service would... It's like a Virgo archetype, basically, from an asteroid perspective. It would play out the role where you feel the necessity for service and the ability to transmute energy, okay? And as I said before, it was through sort of the matriarchal times where a community would need protection. A community would need the necessity for it to function. So at that time, a lot of soldiers would go out into the outside world and would then experience sort of like war or traumatic situations. And then when they came back to the community itself, their traumatic situations needed to be transmuted. They needed to be reinitiated back into societal structure, community structure, in order for their ability to not like infiltrate and spread distortion, like anger and pain. Basically, this is what I'm talking about. So it's like a purification of that anger and pain through service. But it is a very self-analysis orientated archetype in the asteroid itself. So what would happen here is that the feminine archetype would then initiate or use and recreate circumstances like Vesta virgins themselves would, high priestesses is the word I'm looking for, would literally be there to as therapy to transmute any distorted negative energy through sexual experiences. And the purpose was to learn how to become the divine masculine, which is sensitive, and of course the ability to feel emotion again, because that would be shut down through having to go out and protect the tribe and such, and be very rigid in things. So that when men interacted with children, as an example, there would be a necessity for softness and innocence versus hard exposure. And I mean, this is just one aspect of this asteroid that I'm trying to reveal to you through story here. Another one would be that the Vesta Virgin and the High Priestess's service to the community was their ability to actually initiate young men into sexual life, so that when they went out into the world, they would actually treat the feminine archetype with respect and obviously understand sacred energy, which sacred energy is about realizing that we, as in on the planet at this stage, which is heavily distorted. I mean, we don't even have like a very good understanding of what sacred energy is about. Okay, we're still very much like learning how to do that again. You know, this is when we have arguments with people, or get angry with people, or we take people's time and we use it against them. You know, all these types of things, basically, where we're learning how to be interactive with people and respectful of other people's energies. Anyway, so what would happen is that the Vesta virgins, or the service to the community, would be to initiate young men into sexual adulthood. And this would allow them to then be able to connect with, obviously, maidens and be able to nurture a family together and grow together without abuse or anger or suppressed emotions or, whatever nonsense there would be, that there would be the actual Kundalini union or tantric union. So Vesta itself within the birth chart is that process of how we go about transmuting energy from something that would be distorted or negative or damaged into something that is of purification, hence the fire again. And those two stories would be that way in which, in terms of matriarchy at least, that would occur. So wherever Vesta sits in your chart is your natural capacity from your soul's perspective to want to obviously nurture in a way of purifying any, and I say this, lower ethereal energies. Okay? Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you're checking the next one out as well. And if you enjoyed the series, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And until then, take care. Bye-bye.